Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. You've come from a different place, and I know you've traveled far. But now that I've told you what it is, bop, 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 I'm gonna point you towards the whiz. See, that's what that black mermaid man lady feels like to me. I feel like Miss One from the Wiz getting ready to point you towards the direction you're supposed to go. And yes, this is my magic traveling bag. So give me 1 second. No. So this is a wooden bowl that I've poured some water in and some salt. I love the idea of salt as a cure, as a way to pull the moisture out of meat, and as a way of preserving the thing. So when I feel like I need preserving, I get out my wooden bowl and I add water to it, and I add salt to it. And I believe that the salt pulls the impurities and the excess out of the air and out of the atmosphere and out of me, so that I might be preserved. This ain't preserved. This is called pickling. Hold on. Because it's after 5. Ooh, sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. Okay. That black mermaid man lady. So, also in my traveling kit is my father and my great grandmother Dorcas, and my father Curly. His name was Curly. So the story is that my grandmother on my father's side named my father Curly and named his sister Pearly. So they were Curly White and Pearly White. All that amazing naming, and I'm Marvin Kevin. But I ain't mad at Spirit for all of that, because what's done is done, and that's my name. So what I am gonna do is pull some cards from the deck. And when I opened the deck and I found out that there were 4 of each card, that made me think of directions. North, west, south, east, and so that for me instinctively meant that the deck was about direction and where I should be led to and where I should go. And so I'm going to pull 4 cards from the deck. I'm going to shuffle, I'm going to pull 4 cards, and then I'm going to let the cards guide me into my collection of poems called Last Rites. And I'm going to do this thing called bibliomancy. And bibliomancy is the divination through the selection of text randomly. So usually, my grandmother used to just open her Bible, and wherever her finger led her to, that was her kind of fortune, her mission, her direction for the day. And so I'm going to pull a card from from the deck, and then I'm going to find a corresponding poem based on the number that is on the card, and I'm going to read that poem for you. And hopefully, in the allotted time, I can read 4 poems for you. So that's the deal with that Black Mermaid Man Lady. That Black Mermaid Man Lady deck, divination, bibliomancy, 4 directions, east, west, south, north, that I'm going to do for you. And then I might explain some other things that I have in my kit here. So let me shuffle the cards. And if I had more room, what I would do is spread them out on a table and really do a reading. So I am shuffling, and I really want to get a good shuffle. And I want everything that my hands have touched today, everything that I have moved, everything that I have held on to, everything that I have used as an instrument, everything that I have bruised, everything that I have pushed out of place, everything that I have pushed into place, everything that I have handled well or maybe even inefficiently, I want to put into this deck as energy. So I want to get a good shuffle and make sure all of that is in the deck. Now, if this was a magic show, I would say pick 4 cards, but it's not a magic show. So shuffle, and I am going to pick 4 cards. Okay. So the first card I pulled is Miss Kitty, and it is a joy card, Miss Kitty Joy, and it says on the back, stand in your power. Miss Kitty stepped center stage with that microphone. All I recall is her thick, juicy red lips parted, and well, next thing I know, I find myself face up on the floor, laughing and singing and talking to dead peoples. That Black Mermaid Man Lady. So Miss Kitty is number 5. Miss Kitty Joy is number 5. So if I go to the 5th poem in the book, it's a poem called That Thing. He's still singing in the choir. He's still loving men. He's still kikiing at the club. He's still sometimes real still. He got that thing that Magic Johnson got, that Arthur Ashe got, that got Ryan White, that Eazy-E got. But he never been a basketball star, tennis ace, little white boy, or rapper. That thing forces his knuckles through his skin, ashes his oils as dry as driftwood, pulls his face too close to his skull, brings his eyes back into his head so now he can finally see what he's been thinking about. And those purple, blue, and black spots aren't bruises he can excuse away, cause it ain't nothing like that thing he got in high school and then college. This thing and that thing different as he is now, but he told me it still burns. More like freezing and less like fire. And he's thinking about slitting his wrist because he knows he's bleeding to death anyway. He's still singing in the choir. He's still loving men. He's still kikiing at the club. He's still sometimes real still. He got that thing and he stopped looking for all the same differences in his body. He stopped remembering forgotten and torn condoms, the highs and the lows, the raws and rips in his skin. He got that thing and he told his mama he got that thing. So now she taking care of her thing and that thing. He got that thing from his friend, from being smart enough to sell his body when he was in prison, when he was in the hospital, when he was in the bushes, and through the red cracked lips of skin, he say he gonna be all right. He's still singing in the choir. He's still loving men. He's still kikiing at the club. He's still sometimes real still. Miss Kitty Joy. So there must be some more to get from Miss Kitty Joy. Some more meaning. And so that's 5 more. So if I move 5 poems ahead from that poem, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a poem called Pretty. And it's a short poem that I wrote years ago for my friend Lorenz. You temper masculinity with careful drops of a yang in your eyes, achieving the right effect, balance in perfect lashes. You float love notes to me on winks, quoting your beauty demigods. Pretty, you say, is often just the right accessories, the right audience, the right lighting, the right drink, the right time of night. I have only felt this with you. So much about the reading in these cards so far, in correspondence with these poems, is really beyond north, south, west, and east, but direction as plain, as dimensional, as multidimensional, as reaching back and remembering something. I hadn't thought of that Lorenz poem in a very long time, and this need for that black mermaid man-lady-ness about us being boys and being girls at the same time. So then I pulled Sweetie Jr. for clarity. Clearing. When Sweetie Jr. finally did come back to us, she wasn't Sweetie Jr. no more. She were more like that black mermaid man lady everybody been dreaming. And with Sweetie Jr. and the clarity card, it's an 8. So 8 poems beyond pretty. Don't that sound like somewhere? 8 poems beyond pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a poem called The Unburying. Okay, Sweetie Jr. I am in the room, coughing and quaking until the cool air tickled my tongue, heavied my lungs. There were a few other times where I felt closer to you. I was 10, filled with sleep and fear, awakened by sounds not coming from beside me. Hers, she had gone to Reno and left her little man to sleep alone. It wasn't working. I followed the bedding withdrawal, the wash, the brush, the prayer, the turn down, the tuck, the light, but the lights and the wall started laughing, so I fought myself into your room, guided by the sounds your body made as it settled. It was hard telling the difference between the building and you. I tiptoed through your door. The 4 a.m. television hit the blue and gold speckled white linoleum. More cigarette burns. I called your name 1,000,000 times before you crawled away from your dream, startled, cursing. I didn't want much, just the space between you and the wall. No touch, no hold, no comfort. just to lay there in t-shirt and drawers, thinking about the curtains in her rooms that were still whispering, "Sissy, sissy, sissy." The price, the rubs into places of your body that you were too tired to reach or too big to bend into. With 10-year-old hands that hadn't touched himself yet, I did rub. With Tiger Balm, with camphor, with Bengay, until the sore and dead skin flinched back to life, and you sighed and called me words like mother and Jesus. Years later, I can close my life and my eyes and smell yours. The pork rinds, the beer in the Tupperware tumbler, the Pall Mall filters, the sick breath sweetened by Hershey bars, the dirty folds of skin that somehow managed to hold you in, the room with sunken mattress pad and soiled sheets, the room with cigarette burns and beer cans, the room with a body still too weak to explode, years later, hold you in. Sweetie Jr. for clarity. And the last card is the David card, the purpose card. And what's so funny about having pulled this card is tomorrow is my favorite night of the month. It's the monthly house music dance party that I'm one of the hosts of. And the DJ's name is David Harness. And this is a dance card. Clap, 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 clap. That Black Mermaid man lady. This is the dance card. And I'm going to give my life tomorrow. I'm going to leave it all on that dance floor. So this is a number 6. So 6 poems beyond the unburying. And this will be the last poem I read. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me recount that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I wanted to recount it because the 5th poem past the unburying is a poem called The Dancer. But this is the 6th poem past the unburying, and it's called The Weekend Getaway. For David. It started innocently enough. He asked me to rub his feet. His voice was soft but certain, his skin much lighter than mine. He was middle class, even with his legs spread. His sex casual as his clothes, as leisure as Banana Republic allows. Asking me how quickly I could come, reminding me not how handsome I am, but how much time we had. His legs split like tree branches. I smelled the light-skinned fruit trapped between them. My nose in this place that does not store heat like with darker men. It was less ripe, new plum. I found him perfect, prone, drunk. He was first, faster, quieter, my pants around my ankles, my shirt tucked under my chin like a napkin, sped by the lotion now running down the backs of my hands. I spilled onto his belly, which was mountain-like and round. Mine was thicker, more volcano, his a squirt like water gun. He jumped to shower. I took the whore's bath, as my mama used to call it, washing my privates. Are you going back out? Was yes the wrong answer to this trick's question, this friend of a friend. So I'm going to put David, the purpose card, that number 6, back inside the book. And I will pull them out when it is time to reshuffle the cards and get another reading. What a curious read that was. What a very curious read. You know, that thing, and then Pretty, and The Unburying, and The Weekend Getaway. So those are the cards I pulled from my deck, and yeah, you know, you should try it. You know, you should pick a card and find a corresponding passage in your favorite book and use the technique of bibliomancy with your Black Mermaid Man Lady deck, and give yourself a reading based on the sacred scripture and text in your life. So, sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. You've come from a different place, and I know you've traveled far. But now that I've told you what it is, ba 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 da da. That's it. Good night. Thank you so much.